Ravens fans, we need to talk about TJ Tampa. Welcome in to this edition of the Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here with you as we are going to do an in-depth breakdown on the fourth-round rookie out of Iowa State. Tell you everything you need to know. Go over his statistics, his scouting reports. Also let you hear from him directly coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, we are closing in on 17,000 subscribers on the channel, just over 85 away from reaching that next milestone. For daily news and rumors, for breaking news, interactive mailbags, and more, you gotta subscribe to the channel. The bosses tell me if we don't reach 17K subs by the end of the week, then we just might have to go private and shut the whole channel down. So don't want to risk that happening. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/RavensTV. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's let you hear more on TJ Tampa, the fourth-round pick out of Iowa State, played under Matt Campbell there with the Cyclones, a very good program that's produced some pretty good NFL talent over the last several seasons and had a really good track record playing in America's Conference, the Big 12, as he was a first-team All-Big 12 selection in 2023, a second-team All-Big 12 selection in 2022. And last year took a big step forward. As we mentioned, with the first-team selection, he had 2 interceptions. That was the most that he's had in any season of his career, along with 7 pass breakups, 3 tackles for loss, 44 tackles. 2022, he had 1 interception with 9 pass breakups, 5 tackles for loss, and 40 tackles. But you look at the coverage stats, this is where it gets really impressive for TJ Tampa, folks. His QB rating allowed, he was no-fly zone lockdown corner, as he allowed a QB rating of only 54.8 last season, only gave up 1 touchdown and only 240 yards in a high-powered offensive league there in the Big 12 Conference last year. He held his own against some of the top offensive talent in the country. The scouting report on TJ Tampa, he is a forceful route redirection artist. He is very good about getting receivers off track. He's got good balance against high-low concepts, a good feel for the game, if you will. He's physical in coverage as a striker. He's not afraid of contact. You don't have to worry about him being like a Marcus Peters or a Deion Sanders type. He is not afraid to make tackles and deliver some big blows. He operates with good balance. Open field tackling can be spotty. It's not a lack of effort with him, but he sometimes just doesn't always make the right reads when it comes to open field tackling as far as that goes. But nonetheless, a lot to like about TJ Tampa. And for me, this was a guy that was thought of as a first-round talent. Some people had a first-round grade on him. And it was a shocker when he slipped to the 4th round and was available for the Baltimore Ravens with this pick. This is a guy that I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but long-term, when we're talking about into the future, beyond this year, with question marks around Marlon Humphrey's future and Arthur Maulet and a couple other guys, this is somebody that I think down the road, I can pretty much guarantee is going to be one of these starting outside corners for this Baltimore Ravens team in the foreseeable future. He and Nate Wiggins, the Ravens hit a home run with both these guys with what Eric DeCosta found. He found his 2 starting outside corners of the future. I think TJ Tampa is going to step in that role at some point and do a terrific job. How would you grade the pick of TJ Tampa there in the 4th round? It's an A+ from me. I love me some TJ Tampa. Got the best name in the draft, too. You better believe he's going to excel at some Tampa 2 defense, I guarantee you. What do you guys think? Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. When I look at TJ Tampa even further, he is a game changer. Iowa State, the Cyclones, there was not high expectations for Matt Campbell's team this past year, as they had several players suspended due to a gambling scandal and all of that. And yet, TJ Tampa was one of the guys that led the way, that was the difference maker in this team being bowl eligible when there was talk that Matt Campbell may have been on the hot seat with everything that was going on, and the thought was that this team potentially would fall apart. He was that much of a difference maker. And you look at what Lance Erline of NFL Media had to say leading up to the draft, that's what he was alluding to, the impact player, the game changer that he is. A physical cornerback with long arms and above-average ability ruin catches, tries when he's in the vicinity. Tampa has decent closing bursts, but appears to lack true tap-in speed. He can charge up his press punch and does a nice job of staying connected to routes from trailing technique. However, he allows separation windows to open when playing from a backpedal in off-man coverage. Tampa can handle some man matchups, but his last-second pass breakups will turn into completions against pro receivers. His demeanor, instincts, and bull skills should make him a day 2 target and eventual starter for a zone-heavy cover unit. There's where we are with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I'll say this. For a guy that had hopes of being picked in the first round, that slipped all the way, not even just to day 2, but to day 3, he is playing with a chip on his shoulder. Something to prove. This is a guy that's showing up to Baltimore hungry in a very competitive corner room, right? We mentioned just all the guys that they have. Here's what he had to say about slipping to the 4th round and the circumstance that he enters in Baltimore. I don't really know what they were thinking. Maybe it was not doing anything at the combine or maybe my 40 time. It definitely put a chip on my shoulder going through this process. So when my name is called, I can show everybody what I got. So then the next question, what is the expectation? What is it that Ravens fans should be watching for from TJ Tampa this year? I think that his rookie season here in 2024, you're looking at TJ Tampa competing for dime package snaps at the cornerback position when the Ravens need to spread out, when they face 4 and 5 wide receivers. TJ Tampa is going to be on the field. He'll be competing for that playing time. He also could be in position to potentially convert over to the safety position. He did play some safety in college as well, and he looks the part of a safety on top of that. And we know that the Ravens have a need at the safety position, as you do have Kyle Hamilton, you do have Marcus Williams, but beyond that, there's some big question marks. And this defense, what Zach Orr wants to do is use 3 safeties. So that could be another way for Tampa to potentially get on the field. What do you guys think of what you know about TJ Tampa? Is he more of a corner or is he more of a safety? Let us know. Type CB for cornerback, type S for safety. Weigh in, let us know in the comments section below. Ravens Rundown, bringing you daily Ravens coverage you won't find anywhere else with our news and rumors. We're bringing you interactive mailbags. We're going to be live for games throughout the season as well. If you love the Baltimore Ravens, this is the channel you got to subscribe to. YouTube.com/Ravens TV for the latest happenings on your Baltimore Ravens all off season long. The countdown to training camp is on. We're going to be on it like no one else is. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right, my guy Warren Sharp. That's not his real name, by the way. I think it's Tyler. I don't know why you would change a great name like Tyler, but I digress. Warren Sharp, in his Sharp football analysis, gave a very interesting stat on TJ Tampa. He said the following. Tampa generated a ball hawk rate of 41% above expected over the last 2 years. So to put that in English, he's a ball hawk, all right? So in this time when, this country, we got a lot of war hawks out there, TJ Tampa is a ball hawk. So Nikki Haley would just love him. You look at his top-end speed. We mentioned that some people thought he was a little bit too slow. Tampa claims that his top speed is about 21 miles an hour. If that's the case, if he's being truthful about that, that'll more than work. That'll get the job done. In TJ Tampa, he was asked, who do you compare yourself to? Who do you like? He said Jalen Ramsey. Okay, just compare yourself to one of the best corners in football. I like the confidence. I hope that's the case. If the Ravens found Jalen Ramsey, that's fantastic. We'll see as far as that goes. But here's what he said about Jalen Ramsey. I watched a lot of Jalen Ramsey when I first started playing corner. That's who I tried to model my game after, just being into the position. Initially, Tampa will be a bit of a project player, but I fully expect him to become a full-time starter and an impact player on this Ravens defense for many, many years to come. It's just getting started. Remember the name. Shout out Fort Minor for TJ Tampa. You're going to want to remember the name because TJ Tampa is going to have a great career with the Baltimore Ravens. Do you believe in TJ Tampa? Type Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know what you think. You know I'm spamming Y for yes. Subscribe now. We got you covered here on Ravens Rundown like no one else does. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time.